Very good morning. Welcome to my class. Today, the topics we are going to see is Weibull distribution, triangular distribution, acceptance and rejection technique. So this is under module number 3. This is a random number generation. So how we are going to generate the random number generation, and what is the main difference between the random number and pseudo random number, and what are the problems when generating the pseudo random number and random number. All these things is coming under the session, and we do have a topics called Weibull distribution, triangular distribution and acceptance and rejection technique. So when we talking about this Weibull distribution, this is somewhat similar to the gamma distribution. And triangular distribution, we do have a 3 variables. So based on the conditions, we can find out the triangular distribution to find out the random variable x. And in this triangular distribution, we are going to find out the r value and then x value. So next, acceptance and rejection technique. So in this technique, when we are going to accept and when we are going to reject, so based on the parameters, we can see one by one. So this is the Weibull distribution. We do have a probability density function which is given by the equation. There is a cumulative distribution function. The condition is x greater than or equals to 0. If the condition is satisfied, then we can go for CDF, that is f of x is equal to 1 minus e power minus x by a the whole power beta. So afterwards, what we have to do is we have to find out the r value. The same formula we are going to apply, and then next is we are going to solve x in terms of r yields. That is a formula, x is equal to alpha log 1 minus r the whole power 1 by beta. So finally we are going to generate uniformly distributed value, that is 0 and 1, and then we can apply this to the function step 3 and to get the x value. So these are the steps we can follow in this Weibull distribution. The main thing we need to know is that the CDF x, when x greater than or equals to 0, the condition is 1 minus, the formula is 1 minus e power minus x by a the beta. So afterwards we are going to find out the r value and x value, and at last we are going to generate the uniformly distributed one and to get the x value. So this is the Weibull distribution. In triangular distribution, we are going to consider the random variable x, which is having a PDF. So here we have 3 variables, and in these 3 variables, what we have to do is we have to find out the r value. So we have to find out the r value, and that is x square by 2. There is a condition x 0 and 1. So here the r value is if the condition is 1 and 2. So we have a 3 values we already discussed, that is 0, 1 and 2 they have taken. So if it is the condition 0 to 1, then we can go for x square by 2, and if it is the condition 1 to 2, then we can go for 2 minus a the whole square divided by 2. So based on these parameters we can apply, and so x is equal to root of 2, or the condition is 0 to 1 by 2. So if it is 1 by 2 to 1, then 2 minus root of 2 into 1 by 1 minus r. So based on these conditions, we can find out the random variable x, which is in the triangular distribution. And other distributions, when we see the other distributions, like we can see empirical continuous distribution and discrete distribution. So when we talking about, before going to the empirical distribution, when we talking about this discrete distribution, this can be generated the inverse transform technique, either numerically or table lookup procedure. So like the final generation scheme is being observed, and other techniques are sometimes used for certain distributions over here. The final generation scheme having a formula like we can go for summation 1 by n, like that. So it covering both the empirical distributions and 2 of the standard distributions, so along with the geometric one. So here we have highly efficient table lookup procedures for these and other distributions we can go for. So in this when we talking about this empirical continuous distributions, so at the end of the day, at the end of any day, the number of shipments on the loading clock of IHV, like we can say this is the famous incredibly huge widget. So it is either 0, 1 or 2 with observed relative frequency, we can give any kind of frequency like 0.50, 0.20, 0.30, like that. Any kind of possible values we can give to find out the internal observed relative frequencies. So like internal consultants have been asked to develop develop to improve the efficiency of loading and resampling the observed data itself. There is a possibility to simply resample the observed data itself, and here we can see the loading and hauling operations as it is as part of this model, and they will generate the values of x to represent the number of shipments, and when it is necessary to use the empirical distribution of data, we can go for the observed data itself. So this is known as using the empirical distribution when the input process is known to take on a finite number of values. So here the consultants, what they have done is they have decided to model x as a discrete random variable with distributions, and when we're talking about this discrete distribution itself, it will cover all the empirical based distributions over here. Now is acceptance and rejection technique. So acceptance and rejection technique suppose that an analyst needed to devise a method for generating random variables uniformly distributed between 1 by 4 and 1. So there is a procedure, these are the steps we can follow. Generate the random variable or, and if the condition or greater than 1 by 4, then acceptance will be taken place. Then we can give or, then go to step 3, and then if or less than 1 by 4, then rejection takes place and return to step 1. So like we have to generate a random number once again. So this is the main thing. So each time step 1 is executed, a new random number or must be generated. So step 2 is an acceptance and step 2 B is an rejection. So here, to summarize this technique, we have to variate with some distributions like in uniform 0 and 1. 0 and 1 is a uniform value. These values are generated until some conditions will get satisfied. Until some conditions get satisfied, in the sense like you have to it is repeating the procedure beginning at the step 4. If not stop, then we can move to the step 1 to generate the random number. So when the condition is finally satisfied, the desired random variable can be computed, and this procedure can be correct by recognizing that the acceptance use of or the conditions are satisfied. So each time when it is executed, a new random variable must be generated, and this is an acceptance and rejection technique. So the efficiency of acceptance and rejection technique depends heavily on being able to minimize the number of rejections. So once we are going to reduce the number of rejections, automatically the efficiency will improve a lot. So in this we can see the probability of a rejection. So the number of rejections is a geometrically distributed random variable with probability of success, like being we can give for probability. So it depends upon the probability. So probability is equal to like 3 by 4. For example, I am saying 3 by 4, and mean number of rejections 1 by p minus 1. So we can get automatically 1 by 3. So this is the mean number of random numbers required to generate one variate x, and this is one more than the number of rejections. So once the main concept we have to understood is to reduce the rejections, the efficiency will be increased automatically. So an alternative procedure exists for generating the uniform variate on 1 by 4 comma 1, like which reduces the rejection acceptance and rejection technique, or alternative procedure like inverse transform technique. So in this this is more efficient, and it depends upon the several considerations like the computer being used, skill the programmer, and relative inefficiency of generating the additional random numbers needed by the acceptance and rejection technique. So sometimes we can move to the inverse transform techniques too. So a new random number or must be generated. This is an acceptance, and for example when we go step 2a is acceptance and step 2b is rejections. And to summarize this technique, we have to generate the new random variable with some distributions like in uniform 0 comma 1. This is generated until some condition or greater than 1 by 4 is satisfied. So for the uniform distribution, when we're talking about this uniform distribution, this is very much easier to apply and more efficient than the acceptance and rejection technique. So the main purpose of using this one is the like normal normal distribution, gamma, beta. So all those things, the inverse CDF does not exist in the closed one. So that we can go for those things and all rather than this acceptance and rejection technique. Once again I am telling this, suppose an analyst needed to devise a method for generating the random variates uniformly distributed between 1 by 4 and 1. So there is a procedure to follow those steps. One is generate a random number, and step 2, simply we can say the acceptance, and step B, simply we can say the rejection, and final thing is we are using another uniform random variate 1 by 4 and 1 if it is needed. Okay, so otherwise repeat the procedure beginning from step 4 itself. So this is the now we'll see this is a continuation process of acceptance and rejection technique. There is a Poisson distribution P of n, that is P of n equals to n e power minus alpha power n by n factorial, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2. So a Poisson random variable with mean a greater than 0, so where n can be interpreted as number of arrivals in one unit time. So we already know that we have a countably finite or an uncountably infinite. So here what we have to do is each and every arrivals to be processed one at a time. So from the original Poisson process definition, we know the inter-arrival time. These are exponentially distributed with mean, that is arrivals in one unit time. We already know this. Each unit time the arrivals will be processing. So there is a relationship between the discrete, or we can say the Poisson distribution, and the continuous exponential distribution. So we have a1 plus a2 till an plus an plus 1. So the main formula you have to know is e power minus alpha power n divided by n factorial. So where n is the any number of values we can give. So now we'll see the gamma distribution. So beta, we have a parameter beta, this is called the shape parameter, and theta is called the scale parameter. So we do have 3 steps. The first thing is you have to compute a value and then generate R1 and R2 value. And third step is if x greater than b, then we can go for rejection, and if x less than, then we'll be getting a desired variate. So all the steps we have to follow based on the parameter only. So the generated variates from step 4, we have mean and variance both equal to beta. If it is desired to have mean 1 by theta and variance 1 by beta theta 2, then step 4 should be replaced by beta theta. So the main thing we need to understood over here is the parameter based on the parameter. So beta is nothing but a shape parameter, and theta is nothing but a scale parameter. So based on these parameters and conditions, we will get we can use this gamma distributions. Thank you.